The truth is that US colleges do give money to international applicants in the form of financial aid. I'm going to break down the profiles of 3 students who received aid, where they applied, what their SAT scores, and what colleges offered money, okay? This could literally shape your entire college list if you care about the financial scholarships that are offered, so listen on, okay? If financial assistance is important for you, there's a 2-part strategy that you need to keep in mind. First, you need to apply to colleges with a history of offering financial aid to Indian students, okay? Second, check out the track record of the institution. Financial awards tend to follow trends for a few years, so they might be trying to attract strong engineering students to improve its engineering program. And assume that your financial aid is going to be awarded in an institution where you exceed the requirements, right? So in all the cases that I'm about to tell you, the student always exceeded the 75th percentile of the SATs, and that's how they were able to get these colleges to lure them in with money, okay? I'm Tina Chulette. I'm the founder of Blue Skies, an Ivy League consulting firm that helps international students and domestic students get into top-ranked US colleges. On this channel, I give you insider strategies for students aiming to study in the US. I give you top-ranked strategies if you're trying to study in the US. So here we go. Let's go through those 3 applicants who earned scholarships, okay? So student A, SAT of 1550, they needed financial aid or they couldn't attend. They applied to Georgetown, University of Richmond, Tulane, Southern Methodist University, and Lay University, okay? Don't cringe because those are actually great universities whose unfortunately their brand names are not known, but some of you will be applying to those, okay? So they got financial aid at both University of Richmond and Tulane University. Okay, they ended up accepting University of Richmond's larger award. So one thing that you need to know is that students generally, like I had told you, universities use aid to lure students. So when I look at the SAT score of the student of 1550, and now you look at my screen and you'll see Richmond and Tulane, their scores for SATs, you can see that this student has well exceeded the 75th percentile, right? And that's largely why they probably got this, okay? So the next student, student B, SAT of 1480, financial aid was not a consideration, but they still wanted to apply. They applied to Princeton, UCLA, UC Berkeley, and Carnegie Mellon, amongst others. They got financial aid at University of Mass Amherst, okay? They ended up declining it and they went to Berkeley instead. Again, I do think it's important to know that what happens is if you apply for aid, your chances do go down. So this student might not got in. Well, likely they didn't get into Harvard because their SAT score is not enough. But I want you to know that when you do say that you need aid, I do want you to know when you say you need aid, it does reduce your chances of getting in. And that's true whether you're a domestic or international student. And the reason is because if you have 2 students that are equal in nature, one needs aid and one doesn't, they're gonna go for the one who doesn't need aid, considering everything else is equal, okay? So make sure you consider that. Again, take a look at the student's SAT scores as compared to the other universities. So they use money basically to lure you. He was only significantly better than UMass at Amherst, and that's why he probably didn't get aid anywhere else, but Amherst was trying to lure him in, okay? His SAT score of 1480 was again exceeding the 75th percentile, okay? Student C, again, 1560, he applied to Vassar, Boston U, Washington University in St. Louis, and Wesleyan, again, all amazing universities. He was offered financial aid at Boston University, and he even got aid at Washington University in St. Louis, which we were a little bit surprised about, but he ended up accepting the aid from Washington University. Again, take a look at the scores. Student C's scores are exceeding the 75th percentile. All of these students had great SATs, and I think that's the main takeaway. If financial aid matters to you, don't just chase the rankings, right? You need to look at colleges where your profile is above average and where there's a history of offering aid to Indian students. That's kind of how you can create leverage. And financial aid is a strategy. I have helped students build college lists that help them with aid. If you think that you need help, book a consultation below. Or if you're unsure, take one of my courses, figure out step by step how do you get in. There's immediate access to downloadable lists of scholarships, ideas for extracurriculars, anything that could help strengthen your profile, which makes you a better candidate and more likely to get aid, okay? Otherwise, just subscribe and keep getting free information from me. Happy to see you here. See you in the next one.